Hello everyone, welcome to Lovella's Coloring. How are you guys doing? I hope that you had a wonderful October and Halloween, and yeah, we're finally into November, and this year has just been going by too fast. But I am here to share with you my colorings for October, and actually did a lot more than I expected, especially since my parents were here visiting for 2 weeks, and there was a lot of birthdays going on, a wedding to go to, and I guess, yeah, during the last week of October, I had like a bunch of colorings going on at the same time. I was just in that mode to do a lot of Halloween themed coloring. So yeah, I can't wait to share it with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and clear off my desk and we'll go and get started. The first book I'm going to share with you is the Tiny Little Horrors coloring book, and this is by Glen Dent Books. And I have 2 colorings in here, and they were both buddy colors with my good friend Kelly, who is known as Color Journey with Kelly on Instagram and here on YouTube too. And so the first coloring is this page, which it reminds me of Winona Ryder from Beetlejuice, her hairstyle. So I kind of tried to color her skin tone almost the same. I think she was a lot more paler, but yeah, I just colored her like this. But yeah, there was a color along in October for black hair and black lipstick, so that's why I colored her lips black, her hair black, and there was also a color along for a pink theme, so I also did that. That's why I colored her in pink. And so I did a base of Ohuhu markers on her, and then on top of that I colored it with the Colleen colored pencils. The glitter that you see on her dress is the Zig Wink of Stella. I have some Sakura Stardust on the skull and on her tights, Sakura Metallic on her shoe and on her belt, and then Sakura Glaze on her eyes and the skull eyes. The background is with the Distress inks. And then the second page, this girl, she reminds me of Christina Ricci, who played Wednesday Addams, and then also Lilo and Stitch, because of the doll. Kind of reminded me, I think the doll's name was Scrump. But again, I based her with Ohuhu markers, and then on top is with Colleen colored pencils, and the background is Distress ink. Zig Wink of Stella on the dress. You can see the Sakura Metallic, Sakura Glaze, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so these are my 2 girls from the Tiny Little Horrors coloring book by Glen Dent Books. The next book I'm going to share with you is hashtag Color Lines Mandala Night. This is by Sunlight Drawing, and I have 2 completed colorings in this book, and I really like this kind of mandala where the background is black and then you just have the lines to fill in, and I really like coloring it in with the glitter gel pens. So this was from a recent haul, and so were the gel pens that I used in here, which is the Aeon Art 100 pack of glitter gel pens. And yeah, so the first 2 pages, and I started in the beginning, and I colored this before I swatched my gel pens, so I kind of just picked out colors from the cap, and you can notice that the oranges that I picked, because I started off from the middle, the oranges that I picked were too close in color to kind of look similar, so as I was coloring out I separated them. And then the blues were also random colors, and actually thought the lighter blue was going to be a little bit darker, but I really like how it came out. I did try to do some blending out here, and it looks a little messy looking at it up close, but from afar it looks really good. And yeah, I really like the colors for being kind of like blind picking them. It kind of reminds me of like the end of summer, beginning of fall kind of colors. So yeah, very, very pretty. I'm really happy with that one. And so with this page, it was after I swatched the gel pens, and so I picked colors that reminded me of fall. So here it is. Really like how shiny it is. A lot of fun to color in with the glitter gel pen. So these are my 2 pages from the hashtag Color Lines Mandala Night by Sun Life Drawing. My next book is Travel Mosaic, Color by Numbers, and this is also by Sun Life Drawing. And this is one of 2 books that I wanted to complete this year, and I was able to complete this one last month in October. I'm only going to show you the ones that I held off to complete and haven't shown in any previous completed coloring videos. And so all of the ones that I'm going to share with you are ones that I used alcohol markers on. So they're a mix of Bic, Sharpies, Ohuhus, Spree, and Towtree markers. I did color in between the lines, or in the lines in between all the blocks, and I used several different brands of glitter gel pens. I used the Pentel Sparkle Pop, Link Shine, and then also Flare. So I just wanted to say that now so I don't have to say it for each one of the page. So I did not do any of the ones in the end. I just wanted to work on the ones that is specifically for this book. So I'll start off at the end here. So we have here the Statue of Liberty in New York, USA. There is the glitter. Here is Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, Germany. So it doesn't matter for me like what color of glitter gel pens. I just pick one and add it, and kind of works out. I really like how it looks. This one is the Great Wall of China. This one is the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France. And you can see here there's some green colored in. My son, my oldest son, I think he was probably like 10 or 11 at the time, started this, but I ended up finishing it. So yeah, so this is the Eiffel Tower. This was a buddy color. This one is Istanbul, Turkey. Here is the Colosseum in Rome, Italy. You can see, I think this is the Bic marker that was running out. It was the tan one. Here's the Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany. And here is the Grand Palace in Bangkok, Thailand. Really like how colorful it is. Here's the Leaning Tower and Cathedral of Pisa in Italy. And I think this is where I ended up, so I'm just going to stop here. Here is the Great Sphinx of Giza in Egypt. So yeah, so I'll hopefully have a video out showing this book as a completed book. So this is the Travel Mosaic, Color by Number by Sun Life Drawing. My next book is Creative Haven Autumn Inspirations, Color by Number. This is by George Tufexis, and the page I did in here is this one with the pumpkins and the ravens. I colored this page using 3 different kinds of markers. I used the Tau Tree, Arctics. In the Arctics, I only used the light blue, and I used the spray markers. I used a washi tape to use as a border. Then I also used a Aeon Art glitter gel pen for the little bits on the squash. I think they're squash. And yeah, I really like how vibrant the colors are when you use markers. So I think I'm going to continue using them for these color by number Creative Haven books. I think I'm going to do what I did for this page, which is to start off with like the lighter colors first, then continue down to the dark colors. It really helped, I think, for me to color in this page to be more careful with the darker colors rather than with the lighter colors. So yeah, so this is my first page in Creative Haven Autumn Inspirations Color by Number by George Tufexis. So during the last week of October, I worked on 3 books where I tried to get them done as fast as I can. And so one night I picked these 3 books to just put a base of markers, and I used Ohuhu brush markers, I believe, for all of them. And then throughout the week I used pencils, I believe they are the Crayola colored pencils, to shade them in and then also add embellishments on them. So I was able to finish a page in each of these 3. So the first book I want to share with you from those 3 is the Kawaii Witch coloring book. This is by Larissa May Marinas, and I colored the first page, again based with markers. I used the Crayola colored pencils on top, and you can see a little bit of shimmer on her hat and skirt and her stockings. That is the Zig Wink of Stella. And on the bubbles and her cauldron, those are stickles. That's the rose gold stickles. And you can see I closed it before it was dried. I keep forgetting with stickles, they take a while. And I also use distress ink to darken up the wall. There's just so much space. I didn't want to use pencil, so I just used distress ink. And kind of messy, you can see, but when I took a picture of it for Instagram, I just kind of like stayed within the borders. So yeah, so this is a very cute page. I tried to pick different colors for robes and her hair. I tend to go towards like purple for robes, and I wanted to switch it up. So yeah, that's why I picked this green one. It's different for me. And yeah, so this is my first page in Kawaii Witch coloring book by Larissa May Marinas. My next book is April Amber's Chibi Girls Halloween coloring book, and the page I colored in here is this one, and I used Lemachet markers for this one. I'm actually trying to use up a lot of my Lemachet markers so I can finish that one out, and because this one has so much background, it was like I wanted to just use it up on here. I'm not so happy with the pumpkin, kind of looks weird, but it's okay. I just wanted to color it, just fill it in. And so yeah, so it's mostly markers. I used a little bit of Crayola colored pencils to shade her face in. There is some white Posca around the bulbs, candy wrapper in her eyes. I also used a lot of Sakura glaze, stardust, and metallic gel pens. I used the Stabilo Carbothello pastel pencils to add a little bit of yellow on the cupcakes to look like it was glowing from the pumpkin's mouth. Some white pastel Carbothello around the light bulb, then yellow ones on the trees. I used the Paul Rubin pearlescent watercolor for the moon. And yeah, so that is my first coloring in here, which is April Amber Chibi Girls Halloween coloring book. My next book is Dark Decora by Color Kick, and this is a anime horror coloring book. The page I colored in here is right, I forgot to tag it here. And with this page, I used Ohuhu brush markers to base it, and I shaded it in with both the Marco pastel colors and the Crayola colored pencils. I also used the Stabilo Carbothello pastel pencils for the clouds and the moon. I wanted to make it like a blood red moon, but I don't know if I added enough red, but it's not as red as her bloody face and neck. But yeah, I looked up Decora online to see like what kind of outfits, what color outfits, and most of them were pastel, but because it's dark, I did want to add a little bit of black to her outfit, especially with the bats. And you can see that I did embellish it with some glitter. So I have Zig Wink of Stella, Sakura Glaze, Sakura Stardust. I have some white Posca to accent it. Some more Sakura Stardust. Her shirt right over here because I wanted to add more patterns. This is washi tape. And yeah, so this is my first page in Dark Decora Anime Horror Coloring Book by Color Kick. With the next two books I'm going to share with you, I have colorings in here that were buddy colors with the very lovely Rachel, who's known as Mini Rach, here on YouTube and on Instagram. So I'm going to start off with Chibi Girls Coloring Book Volume 2. This is also by April Amber, and the page that we picked out from here is this zombie girl. So I'm going to go ahead and put up the very beautiful picture from Rachel. And so yeah, so these are our zombie girls. You can see that hers has been dead for a while. I think mine's is like a fresh out of the grave zombie. So yeah, so for my page, I based this whole page with Lemeshay markers. There's a little bit of Bic marker in here also. I shaded it in with Crayola colored pencils. For the moon and the stars, I used the CSY Fairy Tale watercolor set, and the stars in the background, a little bit of white Posca, especially on her eye, and I used washi tape for her shorts. And that's how I picked the color for her outfit. And what else did I use? Sakura Stardust for her band-aid. But yeah, she's fresh from the grave. She's still a little bit red. Still a little bit bloody. So yeah, so this is my zombie girl from Chibi Girls Coloring Book Volume 2 by April Amber. And this book is the 50 Autumn Miniatures by Camellia Angelkova. And the page that we picked to do in here is this one. And I'll go ahead and pop up Rachel's lovely picture on this side. And yeah, so thank you so much, Rachel, for doing these buddy colors with me. We got to do another one. Just let me know and just pick out the pages because I suck at picking pages. So for my page, I again use markers. I use both Lemeshay markers and the Ohuhu brush marker and the Artex markers. I use the Crayola colored pencils to shade it in, and the Crayola colored pencils, I used it a lot in October because it started with a C. It's for Corey's that is Colorfully Optimistic's color long for October, which is C is for October, is to use materials or mediums that start with a C. So I use Crayola, and yeah, so I used that to shade it in. White Posca to white out the lines on the ghost, and Sakura Metallic for the buckle. No, yeah, White Posca for the stars. And yeah, so for the ghost, what I pretty much did was, when I based it with markers, I used a lighter shade of marker, like lighter shade of purple, than the shade that I used for the rest of the hat, to go under where the ghosts are. And yeah, so wherever the ghost is like over, I put a lighter shade of the marker on that side, and that's kind of like how it looks like. It's kind of like transparent. But if you'd like me to do a video on how I did that, just let me know. I was planning on doing it, but I wasn't sure if anyone wanted me to, so yeah, just let me know in the comments below if you want me to show how I did that. So this is my first page in the 50 Autumn Miniatures by Camellia Angelkova. My next book is Witches with Hats, and this is by the illustrator Draw Tencel. He sent me this book to share on my channel, so I do have a flip through video of this one, and hopefully I'll have it up above and the icon on the corner of this video. And I also have a speed coloring of the page I'm going to share with you. So the page I colored in here is this one, a very beautiful witch girl. And so I colored this in with Ohuhu brush markers, and I used the Castle Art colored pencils to shade it in. Those pencils are not my favorite to use on this kind of paper. They're a little bit softer, not as soft as Prismacolors, but soft enough where it wears very fast, especially in big spaces. It hurt. My hands started to cramp up, and I had to do a lot of sharpening. So I tend to use harder leaded pencils on Amazon paper, like Crayola colored pencils are great. Faber-Castell, Pablo's, those pencils are great to use on this kind of paper. But yeah, I made it work anyways, because, you know, with soft pencils you can make it work, and it helps that there is a base on this page. So I also added a lot of embellishments. I used the gold Posca for the little fringes here, the details on her dress, on her hat. I used the black glaze on her fingernails, which I love. Some I think glitter gel pens on details here. White Posca for the stars, some Zig Wink of Stella for the blue area. I don't know if it's noticeable or anything, but yeah, I'm very happy. I really like the gold details, so yeah, it really stands out with the dark purple robe. So yeah, so this is my first page in Witches with Hats by Draw Tencel. My next coloring is from Harry Potter Coloring Wizardry. This is by Insight Editions Wizarding World, and I was invited to participate in the Harry Potter-a-thon by Emily Illustrator, and so I picked a page to do from this book, and that page is the cover illustration, and this is it. So my time slot was on Saturday, I believe it was October 16th, and I actually thought it was on the 15th. For some reason I read the schedule wrong, but I had it done on Friday. So when I realized that my time slot wasn't until Saturday, I made it a premiere for my time slot, and it wasn't until later on that Saturday that my video was live. So I just didn't know how Premiere worked. It was my first time doing it, and when it premiered, I was at my cousin's wedding. I was there the whole day, from the morning to the evening, but when it premiered, it was during the reception part. So I was sitting down, eating, trying to chat with everyone that was there during my live. So I want to thank everyone so much for stopping by, for watching my almost 2-hour long video. It was a speed coloring, so thank you all so much, and I really do hope that you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, like I said, it was a speed coloring video that was almost 2 hours. It took that long because this was done with all Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. It was 3 days of filming while my family is here. So yeah, so I told them I needed to get this done by Friday, and so I just worked on it for 3 days and put it all together, sped it all up and stuff. So yeah, again, Prismacolor for everything, and in the video I do show which color I am using, and then the outside part is black acrylic. I have a little bit of white Posca for the stars and the eyes, and a little bit of metallic gel pen. And yeah, hopefully I already have the link up on the corner of the screen. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out or haven't watched it, I hope you guys stop by and watch that video. So this is my coloring from Harry Potter Coloring Wizardry, and again, thank you to everyone that was there for the live, and thank you to Emily for asking me to participate in the Harry Potter-a-thon. My last coloring is from Romantic Country, Second Tale by Erie, and it is a buddy color page with Sandra, who's known as Sandra, oh my goodness, I might get it wrong again, but I'll have her name up here, Sandra 944 Colorful Diary, and I'll have her beautiful page right up over here. So we both kind of had like the same idea with the color palette, but we applied it differently, and yeah, really a lot of fun. We do have a second buddy color page in here, which I'll show in a bit. And so thank you, Sandra, for doing these buddy colors with me. It really helped because this is my first page in Romantic Country Second Tale. I know this book has been out for a long time, but it's my first page. I think, I don't know, everyone's done such beautiful pages already in here. Kind of intimidated that I won't do my best on it or anything like that, but I just kind of went in here, limited palette, and just went for it. Background is with Posca, and I colored it with the Castle Art colored pencils, which I liked a lot better. It was a lot of fun kind of blending it. It did take a while blending, but it blended nicely. I did use a little bit of Sakura Stardust, white Posca, and some Aeon Art gel pens, glitter gel pens. I don't know if you can see it on the, it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, so this is my buddy color page with Sandra, and then our second buddy color in this book that I am currently working on is this one. It is a 2-page spread that I am coloring with Prismacolor right now. I did base it with Neo Color 2s, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's some like speckling, like dots on the page. I don't know what it is, but I'm just using it as a base right now. Then I'm going to color on top of it with the Prismas. It didn't go through, which is a good thing. So that's what I was worried about, because yeah, I don't want it to happen. I think a little bit over here it went through, but it's okay, it's just in the corner. And yeah, Sandra gave me like 3 different options, and I picked the one double page spread. But it's because when I saw this picture, it just called out to me. I like can picture it in my head, like what I'm gonna do with it. So yeah, so you can see I got a lot of the reds done. I might add a little bit more, I don't know. So yeah, so I started working on the corner, trying to work out this way. And yeah, it's so far a lot of fun, and hopefully I can have it done by the end of the month. And I did finish another coloring, but I finished it in November, so I'm going to show that later on. So yeah, so that is my whip, my current whip that I have going on right now, and then that is the rest of my completed colorings. So yeah, I thank you all so much for stopping by to see my completed colorings for October, and I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing what I've colored. But before I go, I want to quickly say thank you again. Thank you to everyone, for your your thumbs up, for your comments on my video. I haven't been good at responding to everyone, but the past few months has just been so busy for me. But I do hope to catch up this month. Even just watching YouTube has been hard. I just finally finished watching all of September's completed colorings, and that's all I've been watching. I haven't even watched any hauls or any tutorials or anything like that, because I just didn't have time to watch. And so hopefully there's going to be a lot more time in November for me to not only watch but also answer everyone back. So I thank you all so much for your comments, and I'm going to try to answer all of you guys back as soon as I can. So thank you so much. Thank you all so much for your support. So sending you all lots of hugs and love, and I hope that you have a wonderful November. Please take care, keep safe, and many happy colorings to you all. Bye-bye.